Hello, one and all. Welcome to another live. Today is the end of October, final Sunday in October, and it's only 2 months to go into 2021. Hi, Damien. Welcome, classmates. Class of 1995 MHS, of course. For those of you who are joining in on Instagram, I can be seen with the same program on YouTube if you wish to communicate or comment or ask any questions. So today we'll be talking about M&M, and it's not referring to the candy, of course. We're going to be talking about mental health and money. For those of you who are um, a part of the program from Sunday to Sunday or have been watching since 2019, want to welcome you again to another Sunday of generational wealth, financial planning, financial freedom as it relates to the products that are offered with the company that I am licensed. And yes, I'm a licensed financial advisor with the Financial Services Commission right here in the beautiful island of Jamaica. And for those of you who are joining in for the very first time, I am Shernette Clark, the Iconic Advisor. So I can be found on YouTube. Imploring, begging, asking, encouraging that you subscribe to the YouTube channel where you're able to see these videos and these discussions. And I've had discussions with professionals in various areas on the channel. And of course, subscribe so you can be informed readily when there is a new video or when is it that I go live. So today I'm just going to be jumping right into it because in terms of achieving our dreams and our goals that we have planned for any given year or month or something that you want to achieve and you set those goals, and in order to achieve them it has to do with planning, proper planning, and also discipline, and some sort of patience. But with all of what is happening, some persons have experienced job loss, some have experienced just difficulty coping with what is going on. Some have lost loved ones, some have their health have deteriorated. So various aspects of experience that is going on, and some persons are definitely not coping, and some are coping but wouldn't mind some additional information and assistance. And I was privileged to be in a session where we spoke about this, and I thought it would be relevant to the persons that watch my channel or even follow my page on Instagram. And it's called Money and Mental Health Cycle. And the first in the cycle, and if I have persons on StreamYard, I will be able to share. Let me see if I'm able to share. Able to share it. No. I guess if I have anybody on, I can do so. Hold on a second. Let me see if I'm able to. All right. So if let me just go ahead and see if I can maneuver this in the meanwhile. So basically, financial problems, and this is number one, adversely impact your mental health. Because if you have to worry about where is money coming from and how is it that you're going to be, covering even for your basic necessities, your food, your shelter, your clothing, and if there are children, education for your children, then it is going to affect you if you are a hardworking person, and especially the main breadwinner. And if it is that you want to achieve these things and you know that you want to pay these bills, you have to survive in order to pay these bills. It is going to be something that is affecting you if your income is impacted. Number two is decline in mental health makes it harder to manage money. So if you're not managing mentally, so even when I come on here and have the strategies and the plan and the know-how how to create wealth, if it is that you are affected mentally, then it is that you're not able to. So we can preach, we can present the recommendations, rather, we can have those meetings, and you can even start. But if you're not able to manage, then it is that you're not going to be comfortable with your decision and able to continue. And number three is poor money management increases the adversity of mental health. So if you're not managing, basically, you will be affected adversely. So if you're dealing with it and you're not handling the issue, then of course you're going to be affected adversely. Now, with the price increase, even today, I was in the supermarket and the price increases for some items. I was looking back at the receipt, and because I was there last week and there were items that I picked up last week, the prices are not the same. Some have even doubled, and it is crazy, it is ridiculous. But of course, if we're not worried about it, if we're not conscious, if we're not budgeting, sometimes we don't notice these things. So we have to be able to be budgeting and making sure that we're managing things. So even a pack of grapes, simple, the whole that you have that little container that they put it in, and have the plastic wrap on it. Back in the days, a full pack would have been 200 and something dollars. I looked at a pack. It's ridiculous that it probably 5 or 6 grapes in it for the same price. Inflation is hitting us left, right, and center. Gas prices, in the past month of October, we have had 3 increases in gas prices. And I'm talking about here in Jamaica. For those of you who are overseas, you may be able to relate to some of the things that we're talking about. But if you're not, then that is what is happening in our beautiful island. And I'm sure worldwide. Now, we looked at inflation, and last week I spoke of it. Inflation, it is at a high of 8.3%. And we have had no salary increases. For those of you who may have one or promised one, then of course you want to make sure that extra money that you're earning, that it is that you're investing. Why am I so shiny today? I don't need to be that shiny. That's what life does. No, we can see even with housing, because that is one of the ways that I encourage people to increase their stream of income. If you can purchase a property, rent out that property, if you are, so even if you have your first home, or if it is not the dream home yet, you can probably purchase the dream home and use the other one as rental, which can become income, which can contribute to your retirement or anything else that you'd like to achieve. Now, I noticed, and I was discussing with a friend, that most of the housing developers now are quoting these prices in US, and we don't earn US in Jamaica. And the prices in the areas that we would have liked to live, you're looking at nothing below 30 million, 50 million. I saw one for 64 million, and there's one that is being built for 80 million US dollars. No, we're not earning US, and inflation is at a high. And how is it that we're going to achieve these goals? And yes, we have to deal with it mentally, because when we see this stuff, them, we can't deal with it. The OUR has approved 1.4% increase in JPS bills. So our bills are going to be increasing, just the basic necessities, utility. I'm telling you, we have to deal with it mentally, because I'm telling you, I'm going out of my mind sometimes when I look at it. So the rates are high. No, the range of stressors are increasing prices, job loss, as I said before, debt existing. So your existing debt, and if you're incurring new debts, unplanned or unexpected expected expenses can also be health related. It can be repair on your home, repair on your car, or something just arise, some emergency. And of course, COVID-19. Now, for those of you who have existing loans and thinking of additional loans, there is a scenario that I had painted in a previous live, and I want to dive into it a little bit more. That I took out a car loan. It was in 2015, June to be exact. And the price of the car at the time was 3.850 million. I made a 10% deposit because they said that was required. And I sold another car in order to acquire that one. Of course, I had some amount remaining on the loan, and I got a 7-year loan. So 2015, count with me, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and the year 2022, which will be next year, June. No, I'm excited because I've gotten on top of the loans, and I'm going to tell you there were times when I wasn't on top of the loan. And coming to the end of the loan, I'm realizing that the remaining amount is not reducing. Well, it's not recently. Let me backtrack. That I realized that the amount is increasing. I've been asking them for the last 4 years, why is it every time I make a payment and I've made some lump sum that the amount seems to be increasing? It's not on the reducing balance. And I've asked for a meeting. I want you guys, because my limited math is telling me that I should be owing less, not more. So I requested a meeting. I haven't received it. I said, guys, I need you to sit down with me, please. They have changed not owner, not CEO, but management or staff that would be responsible for sale and, of course, the loan. So the person who, when I took out the loan, is no longer there for the last 4 or 5 years, and they changed hand and somebody else took it over. Now, this person who is there, every single time I call, she's either in a meeting, either at lunch, and I decided this time, no, I'm going to wait. And what was explained to me, in which I pulled up the contract recently, in which I signed, is that at the end of that 7 year loan, there is a bullet payment that needs to be made of a specified amount, nearly another $1 million. So 969 something, something, something. Can't remember the exact amount. That at the end of June 2022, that amount needs to be paid. So I said, why am I paying a loan at the end of the loan? Ridiculous to me. I still want to fight it, so have not paid the amount. So I'm going to say investigate. Don't let these people just tell you something and you just accept it for what it is. Because at the end of my loan, how is it that I have another loan in which there's a specific time, whether you pay it in 18 months or 12 months, there's a specific period to pay it. And I guess if you don't pay it, so even if you have 100,000 at the end of that period, they'll take your car after all 7 years. Now it's ridiculous. So I have started my investigations to find out if it is even legal in our country. So you have to make sure that you're reading the provisions of the loan. And because of that experience, I don't want another car loan. I don't care how attractive it is. 1 year insurance, free gas, free tires, free engine. I don't care what the promotion is. That has discouraged me from taking out a car loan. And if it is that I'm going to take out one, it must be 1 year. And I'm seeing all the provisions that I have signed and no back payments at the end. Now, I said before, unplanned and unexpected expenses. No, that can be relating to, I said, repair on your home, repair on car, or it could be a disability. It can be also a diagnosis, cancer, stroke, heart attack, and with COVID-19, even death. So you want to make sure that you put in your insurance in place, which is your life insurance for the event of death, and of course your critical illness coverage insurance. Hi, Jolanda. Hi, little Miss Chocolate. Thank you for joining in. And of course, your critical illness coverage insurance in the event of a diagnosis. You want to make sure that you have that living benefit. If it is that you're diagnosed with any of the critical illnesses, that you have that lump sum payout to deal with those eventualities. And of course, I do life insurance. Health insurance, of course, you need that during COVID to doctor's visits, prescription drugs. And I do critical illness coverage insurance and some aspect of investment and pension. Now, also effects on mental and or physical health is financial. The financial symptoms are sometimes we don't even notice them. But if we sometimes just take a stock and realize that we're always irritable, having a headache, having aches and pains sometimes is not even a symptoms of something that serious other than what is in our head or what we're experiencing, the stress. You get nervous when you're about to swipe your card because it's just too much, anxious when bills are due. I used to get heart palpitations back in 2018 when I had to be paying back some monies. And even the very text message from my phone, I had to change a ringtone, I had to change a notification tone because even that was getting me anxious. And we have to note these things because it affects other aspects of our health. So if you guys notice in previous lives and video that I may have a very enlarged neck based on hypothyroidism, and it is also stress driven. And until I started, even though I was taking stuff, it wasn't helping until I started realizing that, you know what? Some things that you can't handle, you have to just leave them alone. Or you take your time and handle them as much as you can in order to alleviate some stress. And unable to enjoy your assets because their payments are due. So you can't enjoy your house. You own your house, you buy your house. I was telling someone when I just purchased my house in 2009, when we were moving in where we were coming from, we were exposed to termites. So I didn't want to take the wooden furniture. So I tossed what wasn't able to be salvaged and I sold what could have been sold, and to persons who are able to repair them, by the way, not someone else to have in their home. And I what else? We basically moved in with nothing except for the refrigerator and a few. We sprayed the old refrigerator, because we didn't want to buy a new one because we were budgeting. When we came, it wasn't working, so I had to go get one on sale. And the furnitures that I was able to sell, I was able to buy myself. Um, Two beds, the base, and we went to the mattress factory and had them made two mattresses. So I didn't go to a course or a singer and get a higher purchase. I bought them cash with that money. So the day we were moving in, those things came in. So there was no sofa, there was no dining table. We had a stove, and I told you about the fridge that we had to buy because I was expecting my baby, my last son. Oh, by the way, there were no curtains either. So we had no rods in. So, well, we had curtains, but there were no rods. So I taped the curtains on the wall so nobody could see inside. So if we did have a blow up bed or anything, nobody could see what we didn't have in the house or what we had. And we just took our time and buy stuff that we needed because some of the furniture that we put in our house, them cannot hold. We just want them and we have no space to walk and to enjoy what we have because they're too huge or they are too much. So we bought what we wanted until we could buy more. So enjoy your assets. You work hard. The same thing with your car. Enjoy because some we are still paying for it. But for me, my taste now and appetite is different. I don't want a car alone. It's up to you, and you can decide what you can handle. Headaches, get migraine attack because you're worrying and you're thinking, how is it that this is going to be sorted out? You're just on the edge, bills can't pay, can panic attacks. I mentioned that. Fights and disagreements. Sometimes you're irritable with everybody. Sometimes we don't do it at work, but our spouses and our significant other and our children and our family are the ones who are experiencing that side of us because we just stress out, restless and unable to sleep because you go at your bed and you have to be thinking about what's the next move, how can this be. And guys, these bring on other illnesses, and I don't think that this is just okay, is mental health. But if you're continuing and not recognizing and not getting help or not accepting help, then it is going to be leading to some, and stress can is also cancer related. So you have to make sure that you're dealing with them. Eating disorders, and if you're not eating properly and on time, you can bring on headaches and you bring on other illnesses, especially if you need to eat. Like for me, I have a disorder in terms of iodine. I need to take my CMOS before I eat, and I need to make sure that I'm eating stuff that are high in iodine. So to make sure that this thing consistently goes down. Well, I have decided to go the natural route, not to remove it. So hence I am emphasizing on the diet. Now, affecting work and social life. Of course, it is going to affect work and social life because you don't want to be around anybody, especially if it seems that they have everything all planned and worked out. You don't want to share into anything that is going to make you happy. Normally for me, it's work and home and church. And last week, my branch. Hi, Jay Carbis. Thanks for joining in. normally for me it is straight home and kids. And last week Friday, my branch, we decided to have a lime observing the COVID protocols, of course. And I say, you know what? I'm just gonna go because last week for me was very stressful. Every month and it's stressful. Some are more stressful than some, and over the years I've learned how to handle it gradually, because I can tell you every month, and when I know it was going to become stressful, I can tell you that my cycle began. That is how nervous I was about the mountain. I don't want to get into it much, but you get the picture. It would start either the night or the day or the night after that day, that we call books close, the end of the month, where you have to submit everything that you have, business that you have gained, in order to be paid. And it used to stress me out, literally. And I had to realize that, you know what? At the end of books close, there comes another month. So what I didn't accomplish this month, I have to plan for next month to make that double or to accomplish it. But that's how I had to deal with it. And it has been better. So last week was a little hectic, one of those months. Not, but, and I decided that Friday, whatever it takes, whatever is going to happen on Friday, I was a little irritable because I would want to just bask in that. I wasn't able to do it fully, but I got a little bit of it, and it was good. And I think we should do more of that, where we just drive out of town. It doesn't have to cost us any money. Go somewhere else, go eat. Change of scene, change of environment. There are so many hotels on Gustavos and Brata Living, and then you have persons who are doing their travel agency or travel, what you'd call them, some, I think it's network marketing companies. They have some good deals. Grab onto some of those, and if you can't do it on your own, grab some family and friends where both, all of you can put some money together and just do something together, because we need it. We need all the break we can get. Now, the effects on mental and physical health is you have also sleep disorder, insomnia or restless sleep, weight gain or weight loss, low self-esteem and or feeling ashamed, you feel unaccomplished, low energy, feeling angry and fearful, tension and arguments, pain and mood swings, anxiety and or depression, social withdrawal, and drinking and drug abuse. So that is when it really gets extreme. Gambling, I've thought about that. So I don't think anybody is exempt. And suicidal thoughts. Now, the coping mechanisms, and I'm just going to go into them because normally when I'm alone it's 15 to 30 minutes. So if I have to continue next week, then I can continue. But we encourage that you talk to somebody. And it's somebody that is, that is going to listen, someone that is not going to be judgmental, not a know-it-all person, or somebody who thinks that they have arrived, their life is fine and dandy, and is going to make you feel worse. But somebody that you can talk to, it could probably be your financial advisor, because you probably need some proper planning in terms of how you're going to strategize, and in terms of how you're going to be covering those loans, accomplishing those dreams, have those money, whether your sinking fund, your emergency fund, of course, your investment, your insurance. Make sure that you're structuring them. And I also have a spreadsheet in which I encourage persons to have. So even if you don't use my spreadsheet, then you can also use Excel to list all your income and your expenses, so you know what is coming in, what is going out, so you're better able to budget and to manage, and list all your loan and the time factor in which you're going to be paying off those, how much is it that you're going to be paying off, etc., etc. So once you're managing it, and that has helped me, once it seems like you're managing it and you look at those figures reducing, it helps to build that confidence and to bring you back at a place where you feel like you have control. Now, talking to someone can be a professional, that is a psychologist or a psychiatrist, aka shrinker, debt counselor, and as also said, your financial advisor. Group sessions, you can have some meetings, whether it is with your peers, your family, and a confidant. So the tips are: be willing. You have to be willing to talk. Be honest with yourself and others. So you have to be honest about what is it that you're experiencing before you can take care of it, and listen. Sometimes saying it aloud changes the dynamics. It does change the dynamics, trust me. And you have to do your temperature checks. So on your finances, that is just as how you do a medical checkup, And some of you may do your executive profile or the executive profile plus. We're encouraging that you do a temperature check on your finances. What is your current financial situation? So, with inflation on a high of 8.3%, we have persons who are losing jobs. We have persons who have not gotten a pay increase or a salary increase. And I'm encouraging you guys to add an additional stream of income. So whether it's selling something on the side, some baking, some craft, whatever it is, trading, whatever it is, some investment, you need an extra stream of income. Now, financial planning, this is flexible. Practice, so you can make sure that you practice budgeting and you stick to it. I said in a couple of months ago on a live, as it relates to the supermarket, if you think that your budget for the month, I'm going to use an example of $50,000, that's your grocery bill for the month, and you are going to the supermarket 5 times for the month, it means that if you've gone ahead for the first week in the month and you have spent $50,000, it means that your budget is done. If it is that you think that you cannot go once and buy everything for the month, then you're going to split that 5 into the times that you go to the supermarket. So you spend 25 this month. If it's twice, you're going to, and then 25 the next week. If it's 3 times, you're going to divide again that 50 times 3. And if it's 5 times, divide that 50. So we're going to go in there 10,000 this week, 10,000 next week, and so on and so forth. What I also encourage is that you don't use your credit card, and let me differentiate. Let me start with debit card. So you use your debit card, but because you know you have money on it, you're going to go to $100,000. And if you know you're like that, then you make sure that you withdraw that money off the card and have it in hand. So when it reaches your 50,000, you say the young lady, make sure they don't pass $50,000, and you leave that supermarket. Because sometimes we pick up some of the things that we don't even want, and we have some items in our cupboards that we bought and we have not used them for the past 6 months because we just feel like shopping. Now, as it relates to the credit card, if you know in heaven's name that you cannot manage your credit card, don't use it. Because, for example, I'm going to be using that 50,000 scenario. If your limit is $50,000 and you have used $25,000, you need to know your 30-day cycle. And if you don't understand the cycle, speak to your financial institution or look at your statement date to know when is your 30 days. So if you use it the 1st of November, which is tomorrow, you know your statement date is the 25th, you make sure that when it is due, you have to pay off all of that $25,000. The banks love it when you pay the minimum amount. But for you, it is not the wisest thing to do because you're going to be paying interest on the total $50,000, not the balance. So you want to make sure that if it is that you're going to buy grocery at $50,000, when I get paid on the 25th, that $50,000 is going to pay off what I have used on my card. If you're managing it, if you're not paying any interest or minimum interest, then it's okay. But if not, you need to pay off that card and close that credit card. Your debit card can do the same thing online as your credit card. Now, debt reduction, and we need to plan that. I mentioned that before, that you need to make a list of everything that you owe. I love to call the people them that I owe, my credit union and whoever, to find out how much is left. And then I plan the amount that is left. I'm going to pay it off in X 6 months. I was doing a calculation today, and when I divide and saw how much money is left to be paid, I was like, thank you, Jesus. By the way, I don't use a credit card anymore. So those of you who may think that I cancel one and I cancel the second one. So even though I work with a financial institution and as an employee, my credit card interest is very low, and I still gave it back because I realized that I shop online. I have my business on the stand where I sell clothing and accessories, but I can use my debit credit to do the same. So I have canceled my credit card. I don't know if I'll ever have another credit card. It's not like I said, I don't want a car loan either. It's the same thing with a credit card. Nothing that says loan is attractive to me anymore. I'd rather do a partner. And I also have investments that I'm contributing to on a monthly basis. But why I said the partner, you can, or if you want to put it in an investment, gives me the idea of budgeting. If I want something for $50,000 and I'm in a partner, I know that at the end of the partner, or going to get a draw. It's like a loan, but it is that you're not paying those high interest as your credit card or some of those small or same day loan in which the interests are really high. So those are some of the tips that I have for you today. And you want to make sure that how you're coping with the stress level is that you have identified and you have also acknowledged the stressors. So remember, you have to identify the situation. Eat healthy on a budget. So if you're spending $1,000 per day for lunch, you need to stop it. Some of the days you can bring lunch, or you can find ways of spending less. No, some of us are buying from these places that we're paying $400-$500 for delivery. If it is that you can come together with a co-worker and you split the delivery fee, then that can work. Exercise. I realize that exercising helps me to start the day. And I have a group that I join where I would remain accountable. The hours now for me is a little strenuous because it's 7 to 8 in the night, but it's on Zoom. So if I'm home, I can jump on. But I've realized when I get up in the morning and take my CMOS tablet, do my exercise, and eat in 30 minutes, I'm good for the day. And some persons, I realize also when I do a little stretching or a little dancing in the night, minimal exercise about 7 minutes, that helps me also to sleep through the night. And sleep is important. Make sure that you're not depriving yourself. Being on your phone and your tablets at night does not help. So get off those devices 2 hours before going to bed, because it really stimulates you and the brain. And of course, you want to make sure that you're getting your 6 to 8 hours sleep at least. I don't know about yoga, but for those of you who are into that, meditation and other relaxation methods, practice gratitude. I was sharing with my son that even if you don't have something now and your friend may have something or go somewhere that you haven't gone, you have done some things too that they have not done. You have experienced some things too that they have not done. Be grateful for your situation. Be grateful for now so you can attract more. Celebrate on a budget the small wins. So we're not saying that you shouldn't have fun. We're not saying you shouldn't have drink. But just make sure that you're managing that and make sure that you're doing it on a budget. So that's our live for today. I want to thank you all for joining me this and every Sunday right here on the Iconic Advisor page on YouTube. And for those of you on Instagram, I hope I didn't look only on the person on Instagram, but thank you once again. And you can make sure that you share these videos with your friends and family. It's the Iconic Advisor page on YouTube. And also I can be found on Facebook, Sharnette Higgins Clark, LinkedIn, Sharnette Higgins Clark. And for those of you on Instagram, please, of course, share the page with your friends and your families. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Remember to observe the protocols, washing of the hands, wearing of the mask, watching your distance, top up on your vitamins and your minerals so you can build the immune system, and to make sure that you stay safe, stay focused, and stay strong. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon. I so do intend to. Love you guys. Bye. Thank you.